Welcome back, guys. It's spring, yay! So today we're having an update on the greenhouse tropicals, and there's going to be a lot to show, so I've got to get this video moving. Beautiful day here in Melbourne, absolutely stunning. Bye bye winter, you won't be missed. You won't be missed, mate. So yeah, it's 1 p.m. temperature is around 15 Celsius, close to 60 Fahrenheit, and let's get started. You pretty much know the layout now of the garden. I'm using this ultra widescreen lens, but for some reason everything gets dark when pointed towards bright light, which is a bit of a bummer. So when I get back to the regular lens, it's not so. Okay, greenhouse, here we are. So I'm going to be pulling everything out just for you guys. Okay, this will take me about 10 minutes. Okay, everything's out, waiting for me to show you guys. So let's go and look at the stars of winter 2020. Let's see who passed and who failed. Let's start on the good side first. Always good to start here. So let's get closer. Starting with the Fruitopia seedling. It's had these red spots since the end of autumn, so it's not only winter, they've been there for at least 4 months. Okay, so I would say this made it fine, and that's no surprise. Fruitopia Chico is pretty well cold tolerant, let's put it that way, in a temperate climate. Don't get any ideas to grow this though in the alpine zones. Not a good idea. So all these have been in a greenhouse, like I said, and half of them could have been left out all winter, but we're doing a test, right? Next one, and by the way, I rate this one as an 8. I give it 8 out of 10. Even though it's got those red marks. There's some kind of rust or some kind of plant disease, but I don't think it's a big deal. It'll be fine once new growth comes. Second one is the, let's have a look here, the Fruitopia seedling also. And this gets a 10 out of 10 without much investigation. Just, you can see right there, right? I mean, look at the shade of green. This is one of those that did not need the greenhouse at all. So A+ on the Fruitopia. Next, this guy here. This is the one I used to call sexy. Remember that? This is a sexy plant. This has done okay, but in the last month, it started drooping on me. See these sexy, what were once sexy leaves? Now they're sort of really droopy, especially down here. Look at that. Right? They used to be like that in June, July, early winter, and now they've just now they're sooking. They're saying, "Oh, you're in a lockdown. What about our lockdown?" Okay, this is how Melburnians feel. about stage 4. Right, see that? And this plant here is the yellow mangosteen. So I would not have left this out in winter. I'm glad I put it in the greenhouse. If it's gonna sook like that, sook means cry. Cry. If it's gonna cry in a greenhouse, right, protected in the greenhouse, how much would have it cried out in the elements? So yeah, this one probably gets, well, because it's so healthy upon close inspection, right? I don't see any damage anywhere. The only thing I see is drooping. So I would still have to give it an 8 out of 10, because there's no signs of damage at all. I don't see any new growth. If I did see new growth, I would give it a 9, but it's not going to get a 9. So yeah, yellow mangosteen, 8 out of 10. Pretty happy with that, except for the drooping. Hopefully it starts to perk up again, and I'm glad that was in the greenhouse for sure. Next is the jackfruit, the seedling, crisp seedling. This one also should have been in the greenhouse, which it was. And well, just looking at it quickly, glancing at it, it's immediately a 7. I give it a 7 because the leaves aren't the happiest, right? These are not happy leaves. That's not a happy plant. So it's got that red rust as well that the Sapodia had. Something's going on there with that. But overall, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with this guy. It's getting new growth, so I can give it an 8 for that. I can give it 1 extra point for the new growth. Let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, let's try to get this. There you go. Look, new growth. That's 1. Where else? And down here 2. So it's got 2 points where it's growing back. So 7.5, maybe 8 on the jackfruit seedling from Dailies. Next is the yellow jaboticaba, and this is another one I could have left out of the greenhouse in the open, naked. Upon first glance, it gets a 9, maybe a 10. Actually, it's a 9, but because it's got all this new growth coming, guys, check it out. Check out this stuff here. Look at that. See what's going on here? It's a 9.5. 9.5 because of all the new growth. Look at that. Pretty close to a 10. The only reason I didn't give it a 10 on the onset is because there's a bit of discolorization on the leaves, like cold burn, as you can see here, right? That. Very windy again today. This wind hasn't stopped for 5 days now. Change of season wind. So yeah, the yellow jaboticaba, what's this? It's just hanging on there. Pretty weak. Pretty weak. Gets a 9.5, but it could have stayed out. Could have stayed out. This one here is the Longon Chompu variety. Okay, it's a marcot, and I've shown you this a few times. That new growth there has been there since autumn. That there, it's been there for 4 months, 5 months, just on pause, doing nothing for 5 months. This gets a 10. This also could have stayed out. Okay, good, nice color on the leaves. New growth wanting to come, to start growing, but not being able to because of the low temperatures. Come on. So yeah, Chompo variety. There's a few new shoots coming. So 10. Could have stayed out. Didn't need the greenhouse, that one. Next. Kyogo Gold grafted jackfruit. This one has done pretty well all along. Except in the last 4 weeks, the month of August, it got all these yellow leaves. And I take that as being standard leaf drop, right? Standard leaf drop. So let's see, just by touching, nope, I don't want to fall. Oh, that did, that one fell just by touching it. So standard leaf drop. I'm not going to force it, just touch. Yep, that fell too. There you go. So other than the yellow leaves, which I take it are just leaf drop, we've got a few signs of new growth that have been again on pause all winter, especially this one here which just turned yellow, right? That guy there at the top, he was yellow, not yellow, he was kind of greenish all winter, and now in August he turned yellow. I don't know what's going on inside there. Maybe it's new growth coming out. Not an expert with jackfruit, not yet. So this one is going to get, because of the lush green, it's going to get a 9. Oh, there's a new growth there. Look at that. That one there. Oops. See that? And there's another one here. Where are you, mate? Yeah, this camera's been naughty again. That one there, 1 and 2. 2 new growths coming. This gets 9.5 actually, very close to a 10. I could have left this out of the greenhouse, but I don't think that would have been a wise idea, because these yellow leaves, I reckon all of these leaves would have been yellow if I'd left it out in the elements. So that passes. Next is the Rollinia, Brazilian custard apple. Upon first glance, that would get an 8, right? Because the leaves have really lost their green color, like they were back in autumn. So 8, and upon closer examination, when you see leaves like that, right, that's pretty horrid. We had about a dozen of those dropping over the last month or 2 months. But there is some consolation, guys, and it's right here. Consolation there, consolation there, consolation there, and you get it. You get the idea. Look at that. See that? So there's new growth everywhere on the Rollinia, the one I've got in the greenhouse. I've got another one in the ground. I'll compare the two in another video. So there's new growth coming everywhere. Well, it's trying to come. It's been trying to come since May. But again, everything went on hold. It's like, oh, everything pause. Everything pause for winter. Right? So it gets an 8. Maybe 8.5 because of the new growth, but 8. This one I could have left out in the winter, but it would have lost all its leaves like the one I have in the ground. That's the main difference between them, by the way. So I'm giving you a bit of a heads up before I make that video, that comparison. This one maintained most of its leaves. That's the main advantage over the one in ground. Next, I hope I can get this in 20 minutes. I don't want to do a part 2. What are we at? We're at 14 minutes. Oh, guys, we're going to do a part 2 because I'm doing 4K. 4K is a limit of 22 minutes. All right. Next is the Madrono. Okay, seedling. So this one is done pretty good. First glance, oops, that just came off in my hand, the top leaf. First glance is a 9. That's the only crappy leaf. This is the one I scrubbed real hard back in July, remember? When it was full of leaf damage, some aphids, I don't know what was wrong with it. I reckon the leaves held up pretty good overall, except for these yellow ones, right? It gets an 8, but I don't see any new growth. I don't see any new growth, so I'm not going to give it a higher mark. If there was any new growth, I would give it an 8.5. It's green along the stem all the way, right? All the way green. So that's passed the test. I'd give it an A. Lemon, this is the lemon drop mangosteen. It's got a lot of names. Next is canistel, egg fruit, or yellow sapote. Look at all the leaves that fell off it. Look at that. How's that? They came off again in the last month. August was a pretty horrific month for most of them. The good news is this seedling has kept at least half of its leaves, which is pretty good. And here at the top, it's been trying to shoot out for a couple of months. Trying to. Right? But the good news is it made it. I'd give it a B. A B. It would have had an A, but it lost a lot of leaves. Yeah, it's alive, it's kicking, it's healthy, it just dropped a lot of leaves. So this canistel seedling has passed the test in the greenhouse. I would not have left this outdoors, no way. I don't know what I'm going to do next winter. Evidently keep it in the greenhouse again. Next is Poshti custard apple seedling. This one dropped most of its leaves back in June, July. So it's only got those 6 leaves, dropped about 16. On first glance, this gets a 7. 7. No signs of new growth, so it's not going to get anything higher than a 7. It survived. Okay, it survived, and let's have a look. Yep, the wood looks pretty good. I'm not gonna, well, I'll give it a scratch. Oh, look at that. What a champion. What a champion. No problem. So yeah, that's passed the test. I definitely would have left that in the greenhouse like I did. And I might get the greenhouse again next year in winter. Quickly going to the 3 mangoes. They passed the test. All of them got A's. The Quan variety got an A+, grafted. A+. Look at that. New shoots, right? Didn't lose many leaves. Very green, very healthy, very happy. Look at this. Let's get some sun on this. Look at that. Huh? It just wants to grow. It's doing the best out of all my mangoes. The Quan, that gets a 10 out of 10, A+. The next one, and I could have left that outdoors. All 3 of these guys could have been left outside in winter. Okay? They wouldn't have been in the same condition they are now, but they would have, well, they would have fared okay. They would have been at least 8 or 8.5. This is the seedling, Kensington Pride seedling, trying to wake up. Come on, guys. There we go. Oh, see that? And everywhere it's showing signs that it wants to come back. Right? Every point there, it's got a new little green tip wanting to come forward, all up and down. That gets a 9.5. The last one here is the Alfonso grafted. Okay, the highly prized Alfonso from India. or Pakistan. This one probably gets a 9. There's a lot of black in the main trunk, unlike the other two. So it's pretty close to an 8 actually, but I'm going to give it a 9. So there are the mangoes. I had to start up a second part, guys. I just covered all the good ones. They're all the good ones right here. Okay. Probably a dozen of them. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 good ones that all passed the test with A's and B's. Now, over here, the remaining 6, well, we have a different outcome. This is more like what growing tropical fruit trees looks like in a cool, very cool temperate climate. Looks like, yeah? Especially leaving them outside. This is what you get. This is what you get, and why people fail to bother. Right? You're gonna bother when you see this? Doesn't look good, does it? Does that look good? What's this guy? Oh, that's the other canistel. That's the Rossopodi seedling. Look at the difference. With this, disaster. And by the way, they were both in the greenhouse next to each other, in the same position. To that, also a canistel. What's going on? Does anyone know what's going on? Does anyone know what's going on with these two canistels? Well, this one, I don't even know if it's alive. We'll give it a scratch test in a moment. But not one leaf living. Not one. Not a single leaf. Now, let's do a scratch test. Well, I'm not going to bother up here because I reckon I can crack that just by, let's see. It's bending. Okay, I won't do that. Let's give it a scratch. No. Brown. The scratch test says brown. Let's go lower. Let's go right here in the middle. Scratchy, scratchy. I've got very sharp nails, by the way, like a grafting knife. Look at that. Brown. Still dead. Okay. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. 5 inches from the soil. Brown. Dead. We have a dead tree, the first one. And it's the egg fruit seedling from Daly's. Dead. Dead, not on arrival, dead after 3 months of winter in a greenhouse. Unheated greenhouse. Okay? So now you know, guys, any one of you out there in Victoria or South Australia, Tasmania, southern New South Wales, not northern, southern. You can forget about trying to grow a Rossopodi in winter in an unheated greenhouse. Saves you the time. You can probably get away with it in a heated greenhouse, of course, but that's not what this test was about. Next is Mr. Super Sensitive. Super sensitive. Soursop. Sensitive is the key word. See that? Sensitive. This is the Kyogle grafted variety, and he had his last leaf hanging on. He's got no leaves on there. The last leaf fell off sometime in July, midwinter, so like 5-6 weeks ago. I'm gonna give him a scratch test. There's nothing else to test, so I'm gonna start at the top. No. No. Let's go halfway down onto the main trunk. Brown, still dead. Although I feel a little moisture. I feel a little moisture in that brown. So it's not like dead. It's like deading. It's deading. It's dying. Let's go down to, let's see, this is a graft, so I'm not going to scratch the graft. I'm going to scratch the, just above the graft, 4 inches. Let's see if there's anything green going on here. On the soursop. On the soursop. So I'm not gonna be able to make a definitive rating or conclusion. It's got a bit of moisture in there, so because of that, I have to rate it now because it looks like it's partly alive. I have to give it a 1. 1 out of 10 for being partly alive. Otherwise, big fail. Big fail. Sorry, Mr. Soursop. You just don't seem to be right for our climate here in Melbourne. Mr. Kyogle variety of soursop from Dailies. Next. Oh, there's some leaves on this one. 3 leaves. See these 3 leaves? Well, that's how the soursop was up till mid-July, like this. 1, and now it's got 2 leaves. Let's see. 2, just touching it, by the way. Okay, that one doesn't want to fall off. So now we're down to 1 leaf, which means it should be alive, right? Should be. Let's do the scratch test on... Oh, I've got to tell you what it is. This is the sugar apple seedling. I didn't realize sugar apples were this sensitive, guys. Wow. The Poshti custard apple I showed you before. What a difference. Look at that. Green leaves. Very alive. Very similar trees. Very similar. Custard apple and sugar apple. Okay. Scratch test at the top. Oh wow, it's alive. Super. Hang on, let me get a focus on this. Let's focus. Come on, focus. Why doesn't it want to focus? Interesting. Anyway, oh, there it is. Oop. There you go. Look at that. That's what you want to see in the scratch test. Oh, the last leaf just fell. It's alive. No more scratching needed below that. Yay! What am I going to give this? A 2 or a 3. It had 3 leaves, so I'll give it 3. 3 out of 10 for surviving. It just survived. The sugar apple. Next. Yeah, these videos are lengthy. They need time to get through each one. All right, star apple next. Kaimito. grafted. Does this say grafted? No, seedling. That's an S. Sensitive. Yeah. For sure sensitive. For sure. Look how sensitive. Oh my God, is it sensitive? And this is in a greenhouse, right? This is in a greenhouse, not in the outdoors. This never spent a second outside the greenhouse. All these trees were put away in mid-April. 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 Look at that. Okay. This one seems alive. Seems alive. Even though it looks dead. I'm going to give it a scratch test. At the top. Starting right there. That's just over halfway up. Brown on the inside, but a bit of green tissue on the outside. So looks like it's alive, but that's not very green, is it? Let's go. This is a seedling, right? Yeah, seedling. So let's go down further and see if we can get green, not just brown and green. Same here, brown. Doesn't look good, does it? Doesn't look good at all. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is alive or not. I'll have to go even lower. Down to the bottom. Oh, brown here too. There's a chance this guy's dead. Huh? Is that dead? 3 inches from the soil. Looks dead to me. Kaimito. Milk fruit. But I'm not going to give up on this guy. I'm going to get another one. And I'm going to put him inside the house. Because I really want this tree badly. I'm going to put it in the house, heated during winter, so I get one that survives. This is the second one I've lost in the greenhouse. Next, Abu, seedling. What do we got here? Oh, they just fell. Okay, everything's falling apart. Oh, we've got a green leaf here. Looking like it's ready to fly off. And up here we've got 3 fine leaves. At the top, it's green all the way to the top. Isn't that something? That the Abu made it and the Canistel didn't. That is, the Rossopodi didn't. How temperamental can you get? So this one has survived. Now, as far as state or condition, sorry mate, you're gonna get a very low rating with that. What the heck is this? What's that? Mr. Abu, one of my other favorite trees. This one's gonna get a 5. A 5 for surviving, and a 5 because it's green. The stem is green all the way to the top. And it's got 3 leaves. Maybe a 6, but it gets a C. A C, not a B. And finally, guys, its mate, its friend, another Abu. I ordered 2 of them. Got them the same day. Look at this. Abu also. Same Abu. Not similar, exactly the same. In the same greenhouse. No green, no nothing. I reckon this is dead as dead can get. Let's have a look. I'm gonna just scratch it right at the bottom. I'm not gonna bother starting at the top. Yep. Wow. Look at that. Another dead one. So how many dead ones do we have now? One. The star apple, probably dead also. Two. And the Rossapodi, three. Three dead ones. That's out of 20. 3 out of 20 dead. Pretty good overall. I would give that a overall score of B plus. What do you guys reckon? B plus? Huh? B plus. 17 survivors and 3 casualties. On the first day of spring 2020, greenhouse, tropical greenhouse test. So the experiment in the greenhouse has ended. I reckon it was successful overall. I'm going to put many of these back in the greenhouse. I'm not going to put them all in there because I reckon it's safe enough now in September, which is March in America or Europe. We're going to have some strong winds coming in tomorrow, they said. Dangerous winds, so maybe I should put them all in there. But the temperatures are going to be pretty good. Temperatures are going to be around 15, like it is today. And 22. Yeah, it's going to be 15 to 22 Celsius over the next week. So that's pretty good for many of these. But at night, it'll still get down to around 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's not good for some of them. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and comment and also share this very important video on survival for tropical fruit trees in a temperate climate in an unheated greenhouse over winter. Hope to see you again soon, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for any new videos.